The Outer Banks Field Site is a program primarily for environmental studies students through UNC's Institute for the Environment program, and it's just a chance for students to come out, spend time doing field work, working with equipment that they wouldn't get the chance to if they were still on campus, complete a research project, learn a little bit about local culture and history, and also take an internship that could count towards course credit and some really good experience for your resume.
The Outer Banks Field Site is unique because you get pragmatic experiences out of it and applications in terms of science and economic valuation in a small setting, so you actually get to learn how to use these tools for future endeavors.
Students at the Outer Banks Field Site, or any field site, have the opportunity to learn in a place-based setting. They learn about how issues apply to a particular location. They go out and collect data in that location. They're using scientific field gear and laboratory instruments, and also learning social science research methods that they can then go out into the community and apply.
I chose it because I really love the appeal of the internship and also the field work we would get. I'm more interested in spending time out in the lab or in the field doing work, and I knew we'd get a lot of hands-on experience working with equipment that otherwise wouldn't get to if I were an undergraduate still. I'd have to wait till grad school. Our natural science fieldwork consisted of going out on boat trips actually to the aquaculture facility in Wanchese, and what we did is we brought all that really awesome equipment with us, and we just did a bunch of water samples, sediment samples. We were actually physically in the water feeling for SAV, doing transects, quadracs, collecting SAV, really just hands-on work actually in the water. We also got to collect the fish species that we caught from the racks and the crabs. Of course we released them all, but just a lot of hands-on experience out in the water.
The capstone project is a project that every environmental studies and every environmental science student at UNC Chapel Hill has to complete. And it's basically a capstone because it is finally providing them the opportunity to apply what they've learned in all of their classes to a real-world problem. The capstone this year was looking at the ecosystem services provided by oysters, and it was comprised of natural science, social science, and political science research directions.
The capstone project that I worked on was on oyster aquaculture, and I specifically worked on the policy analysis part, and I also worked on the submerged aquatic vegetation, or SAV, part. And for the policy part, we read North Carolina and federal legislation, and we looked at other coastal states' legislation pertaining to oyster aquaculture. For the SAV, I was on the boat counting out SAV. We'd go into the sound and take out SAV and then count the amount of species, and we weighed that out to look at the amount of SAV on an oyster aquaculture site.
The presentation was definitely exciting and a new experience. It was a little nerve-wracking, but it was great to be able to finally show what we've been working on all semester and get some positive feedback from it.
I like teaching at the Outer Banks Field Site first and foremost because a field site experience was probably one of the most formative experiences in my college career. I was in all of these classes that were talking about issues, but I didn't really understand how they all connected and how they fit into the larger picture. When I went to a field site, we were learning about science and social science and economics all at the same time, and everything clicked for me. And so that's what finally made me a good student.
I would recommend this program to another student, especially the internship opportunities are really fun. Something that looks great, that is a good experience for whatever environmental field you're going into. It's extremely hands-on, and I learned a lot about just working with people, working with alliances for different causes, and a lot of hard work too.
Here we really got to connect with the professors and really form a personal relationship.
I get to know the students really well, and my classes can be more adaptive. So if I have a lot of students that are interested in chemistry in a particular semester, then I can gear all of my lessons to focus on chemistry. If they're interested in public policy, then I can gear my lectures to that. And I really get to know them, they really get to know me, and I have lasting relationships with the students that come to this field site.